While still in high school, a 17-year-old ran 44.10 in the 400 meters against adult professionals. And when the greatest 400-meter runner of all time, Michael Johnson, witnessed it, he said something that no one could have predicted from a man who had dedicated his whole career to reminding people how very difficult this event is. We'll get to that, but first, since the album is amazing, you must comprehend Quincy Wilson's true identity. However, the aspect that no one is discussing is how he nearly lost everything before arriving. Come on. Virginia's Chesapeake. Regular family, regular town. There is nothing about Quincy Wilson's early years that suggests he will become a world record holder. Both of his parents are athletes. His mother, Monique, played basketball and soccer in college and was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Roy, his father, was a football player for the Naval Academy. Cadence, his elder sister, is a track athlete at James Madison University. It's in the blood to do sports. However, you are not Usain Bolt just because your parents are athletes. Many children with athletic parents fail miserably. Quincy's tale is unique because of a choice his family made when he was very young that most families would never even think about. They did not relocate to a larger home in the same neighborhood or across town. In order for Quincy to attend Bewley's, a private school with a serious athletics program and a coach that the family thought might make their son exceptional, they packed up everything and moved from Chesapeake, Virginia, to Petoac, Maryland. Consider the true meaning of it. "We believe in you enough to uproot our entire lives," his parents responded, glancing at their child. "New city, new home, new everything. I'm betting that this boy will be worthwhile." Before a teenager has demonstrated anything at the senior level, that is a tremendous amount of pressure. And that pressure begins to manifest for a time. But before we do that, you must realize how quick this child was from the start. Because at the age of 14, the numbers were not only remarkable for his age, but also historically unbelievable. In the 400 meters, Quincy Wilson surpasses OBA Moore's 30-year-old national under-4 record. He's still in middle school. The world of athletics takes note. When a child with exceptional speed does something spectacular, people tend to notice and wonder if it will hold up when the competition becomes serious. This is the problem with youth records. Children frequently break them and then vanish. Most likely, you have personally witnessed it. Everyone goes insane when a 15-year-old runs wild. 5 years later, no one can recall their name because life simply got in the way, the body did not develop as everyone had planned, or the mind could not withstand the strain. It occurs all the time. Therefore, the serious experts in the sport are impressed, but not persuaded when Quincy Wilson breaks a 30-year-old national record at the age of 14. Demonstrate your abilities against actual competitors. Show us what you do when racial issues are genuinely important. Show us that this was not an unusual outcome on an ideal day with a soft field and a tailwind. The skeptics have good reason to be skeptical. This is nothing new to them. Then something occurs that instantly silences several of them. However, it also brings forth a completely new issue that nearly throws everything off. Bewley's school coach Joe Lee. The family relocated states in search of this man. And the one thing that sounds straightforward but is actually extremely uncommon is what sets him apart from many instructors who work with young prodigies. He doesn't hurry Quincy. Joe Lee deliberately constructs Quincy's seasons in a world where young athletes are overtrained, overraced, and burnt out before they reach their prime. He keeps him safe. The schedule is under his authority. He chooses Quincy's rest and competition schedules. Music, and even when the short-term outcomes start to decline and the internet begins to raise concerns, he believes in the long game. It's not thrilling to be patient. Although it doesn't make headlines, it is precisely what makes what occurs later feasible. Beneath all the excitement, there is one aspect of Quincy Wilson's song that reveals everything about the kind of kid he really is. A reporter asked him what he wanted to do to commemorate his first Olympic race in Paris, where everyone was watching and his name was trending. He expressed his desire to play Call of Duty with his mates when he got home. Not an interview tour, not a sponsor dinner. Call of Duty. Quincy Wilson is that person. An Olympic winner who happened to be a teenager. Paris in 2024. Quincy Wilson is 16 years old. He is chosen to compete in the 4x400-meter relay pool for Team USA, the youngest male Olympian in American track and field history. After 128 years of American men competing in the Olympics, no one had ever been younger. In the preliminary heat, he runs the relay's first leg. He's anxious. It's visible to you. He is 47 years old. Although the team qualifies, his time of 27 seconds is not his best. The rest of the squad then competes for a gold medal in the final, with Wilson not in the running order. At 16 years old, Quincy Wilson won a gold medal at the Olympics. He is still in high school. Allow that to land. He has an Olympic gold medal and is working on his homework in a classroom. This child is currently being watched by everyone on the planet. Every meeting he attends is sold out. People pay notice each time his name shows up on a start list. Almost quickly, the expectations rise from high to stratospheric. And that's music precisely where the issues arise, because there's a huge difference between being a champion that everyone depends on and being a prodigy that everyone watches. Quincy Wilson discovers the brutality of that disparity in 2025. When 2025 finally arrives, things almost instantly go wrong. The Virginia Showcase is in January. Quincy enters the 500-meter event, which he is predicted to win. He is defeated, and not by a narrow margin, by Andrew Salvadon, a fellow high school student. Quincy runs 102.49, while Salvadon runs 101.49. He loses by a whole 2 seconds. The internet responds as it always does. 3 months after he was hailed as the future of American sprinting, people are suddenly writing think pieces on whether or not the enthusiasm was genuine. When the outside season arrives, things worsen. At the Florida Relays, he is defeated. At other meets, he loses. He doesn't make it to the World Championships in 2025. The 16-year-old Olympic champion is unable to qualify for the 17-year-old World Championship squad. An actual Olympian publicly states on social media that Quincy Wilson needs a break, that his schedule is too demanding, and that they are witnessing a burnout occur in real time. Fans are perplexed. Experts are worried. Those who wagered against him from the beginning are feeling justified. Quincy Wilson, a 17-year-old, is attempting to complete his senior year of high school while coping with all of this in public. Consider the real sensation of that. You're a teenager. Everyone on the internet is arguing over whether or not you're done, even if you won an Olympic gold medal. The majority of children crumble under the pressure. Most children begin to make changes. In an attempt to correct whatever is broken, new methods, new training, new everything. When Quincy Wilson returned to the track, Joe Lee and the fundamentals, he silenced everyone in Memphis. Put it in the comments section now. Did you always think Quincy Wilson would return, or did you write him off during that difficult time in 2025? I'm curious. Ed Murphy Classic, Memphis, Tennessee, July 13th, 2025. In the 400 meters, Quincy Wilson lines up. Not a junior competition, not a high school race. An actual professional gathering with actual professional athletes. One of America's quickest 400-meter runners, Bryce Dedmond, is competing. An adult who has years of experience competing at this level. Wilson begins in lane 5. He exerts a lot of effort within the first 200 meters. Maintains control. He then fully opens up in the last straight. 44, 10 seconds. Music, the stadium goes crazy. In order for that figure to completely land, let me put it in context. 44, 10 seconds. That is the fastest time an athlete under the age of 18 has ever run the 400 meters anywhere in the event's history. Number 17-year-old has ever run faster. Additionally, it is the second fastest time. Music, that any athlete under 20 has ever run. And in 2025, it was the fourth quickest music time run by anyone worldwide, regardless of age, not just teens. Prime-aged professional athletes who just trained for this competition. In the music world that year, a 17-year-old high school student finished fourth in the 400 meters. Bryce Dedmond was defeated by him. He outperformed all the experts in that sector. He controlled it and ran it from the front, as if the outcome were certain. It was truly incomprehensible, according to live viewers. Someone said that they had never witnessed an adolescent take control of a race from the outset. It was one of the best performances in track and field history, according to another. Track and field, not juvenile track and field. And after witnessing 44.1010 occur, Michael Johnson, the man who held the 400-meter world record for years and devoted his entire career to explaining why this event breaks people, had to admit what he was witnessing. A generational talent is one that, if you're lucky, appears once every 10 years. 44th, 10. Reiterated. 44, 10. 17 years of age. In January, the child was being pummeled by rivals in high school. The child that the internet was dismissing. The child who was reportedly experiencing real-time burnout. That child just completed the world's quickest under 18 400-meter race. I'll tell you what transpired next because Quincy Wilson's response to it all reveals more about him than any number could. Quincy Wilson wrote on his Instagram stories, 3 words, on to the next, following his record-breaking performance, the stadium erupting, and his coach allegedly popping champagne on the infield because 17-year-olds are not allowed to drink it. No speech, no criticizing competitors, no look-at-me moment, and no lengthy caption about the journey, the doubters, and the return. After just 3 words, get back to work. Music, there you have it, the entire individual. That child's family relocated states for him. That's the adolescent who played Call of Duty at home following the Olympics. That is the athlete that endured 6 months of public beatings without becoming alarmed or altering their strategy. Moving on to the next one. And everyone else involved in this incident is terrified of the next one. Because Quincy Wilson is currently 18 years old. His physical prime has not yet been reached. He is still in his prime. They're not even close to following him. Most elite 400-meter runners reach their prime in their mid to late 20s. Wilson still has 10 years to grow. The 400-meter world record is 43.18 seconds. 1999 saw Michael Johnson set records. For more than 25 years, it has stood. In the years since, no one has been within 0.5 seconds of it. At the age of 17, Quincy Wilson music is already 44.10. Do the math. Observe the trajectory. Imagine what happens when this young man is 24 or 25 years old, fully grown, and competing on the world's largest stages with years of experience. If Quincy Wilson remains healthy, remains motivated, and continues to perform as he did in Memphis, the world record is not only in jeopardy. The world record is under grave jeopardy. Additionally, Los Angeles 2028 is quickly approaching. The entire nation is watching the home Olympics on American soil. Quincy Wilson, who won an Olympic medal at age 16 and set a world record at age 17, will turn 20. What does 20 look like? This is what I would like you to share in the comments. 2028 in Los Angeles. Quincy Wilson is 20 years old. Everything is on the line, home crowd. Does he beat Michael Johnson's world record and win gold in the 400 meters on American soil? Or does the strain of competing at home affect him? Put it down below. I read each and every one of them. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see the complete analysis of Quincy Wilson's next actions this season and whether or not he can finally earn a world championship.